Welcome to Nava Podcast with Leah Cardenas and Stella Pashos.
Let's explore the true essence of Nava.
Nava embodies the concept of beauty in all its forms. It represents the inner radiance that each woman possesses and the unique qualities that make her truly remarkable.
Our mission is to share the stories of inspiring women who are making their mark in the areas of fashion, health, lifestyle, and family. Our aim is to curate meaningful conversations where the journeys and experiences of our guests can inspire you in your own life.
We started this podcast to create a space where everyone can feel beautiful, inspired, and empowered.
Nava is not just a podcast, it's a celebration of the incredible women who have shaped our lives and the countless others who are yet to share their stories.
We can't wait for you to join us. Welcome to the Season 2 recap of the Nava podcast, where we take a stroll down memory lane, revisiting the fantastic moments, inspiring stories, and captivating insights shared by our remarkable guests. In this episode, we reminisce about the vibrant discussions on fashion, health, family, and lifestyle, and the incredible journeys of these successful women. Get ready to revel in the highlights and gather some more wisdom from our empowering season filled with laughter, knowledge, and inspiration. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nava Podcast. I'm Leah Cardenas, and as always, I'm with my beautiful co-host, Stella.
You need a bit of a pep in your step. Can you introduce me? Anyway, hey
my
guys.
Beautiful, amazing, talented, funny.
The list goes on.
Yeah.
So we have found ourselves at the Season 2 recap. So we're at the end of the year. We started this podcast in July and we did have expectations, but we didn't expect to have met this many incredible women and have the audience that we have. So we're eternally grateful. But yeah, we just thought we'd take some time to reflect what we've learned, reflect on the amazing guests we've had, and what's in store for Season 3.
Yes. So Season 2 started off with Rachel from Blanc Bakery. The launching of Season 2, I feel like that was a really fun episode. I loved chatting with Rachel and her journey and how Blanc came to be. I specifically loved what she spoke about in regards to having mentors and receiving feedback and being open to that feedback in order to improve as a person or in your career.
Yeah, so if you haven't listened to that episode, Blanc Bakery is a artisan goods bakery in Berwick in Melbourne, and Rach and her partner started Blanc. Her partner came from a baking or chef background, but Rach was in HR and was in people and culture, and that was really cool to see how, with every intention to build a business on the side, that kind of turns into your main gig. But the most inspiring part was when Rach had shared that she was actually, she wished she stepped away from that career earlier, and she's so glad to have done so and hasn't looked back.
Yeah, and she also spoke a bit about being a mum and balancing home life and work life and just having that really key support network. And also I remember her speaking about self-care and what that looks like for her and having to prioritize that in her life, because we can often get into that really busy spiral and we just forget and neglect where we're at. Yeah.
And if you haven't tried their delicious artisan baked goods, they evoke nostalgia through every bite and they're absolutely delicious. So we highly, highly recommend heading over to Blanc and saying hi to Rach. We literally ended the conversation with her and we're like, can we be best friends?
Yes. Then Episode 2, we had Sarah from Hunter Markets, a very inspiring story where she came up with this vision of a space where women can come, or not just women, people can come and buy clothing and items from influencers. And she came up with this idea when she was in high school and started that as soon as she finished. And it has an amazing following. So many fantastic influencers go there to sell their clothes. And it's a great, safer space for you to go and shop sustainable clothing.
Yeah. So Sarah is actually a dear friend of mine. So she's a sister of one of my best friends, have been friends for a really long time with her sister Bridget. And it was a pleasure having her on the podcast. And then we found out that you actually went to school. You all went to school together.
I know, it's so funny. I actually pulled out this was primary school. I pulled out the primary school yearbooks and was sending Stella photos.
Natalie was mortified. She was like, put that away. Bridget was messaging her. Anyway, that was a really beautiful conversation with Sarah. And I think my key takeaway was just starting with a mood board. Sarah started with a mood board, and I think she was 17. I hope I got that right. And I think just putting your ideas pen to paper, there's such a strong energy that comes with that. And if you don't know where to start, or sometimes you feel a bit stagnant, whip together a mood board. And that's exactly what we're going to do for season 3.
Yes, we are.
Getting that vision onto paper, seeing it in front of you. And Sarah still keeps that vision board or mood board in her office now. I think it's a great reflection piece to see how far you've come, see the ideas you've had and how they've evolved. But yeah, Hunter Markets episode and the conversation and the concept in and of itself was a really, really cool one. And just such a unique space. So definitely recommend going back and listening to that one if you haven't had the chance yet. And if you're in Melbourne, head down to Hunter Markets. They're in Mentone. Sarah's always there with a big, beautiful smile on her face and in a really cool outfit. So spot her, say hi, and let us know what you pick up. Yeah. I think it's a really cool way to innovate and reconceptualize the idea of secondhand shopping. I think we still have that stigma that, you buy something secondhand from an op shop and it's from an op shop, and that means it's old and gross, and it's, not the case. I think in a time where we're talking sustainability and the future of forward fashion in an ever evolving fast fashion landscape, if we can make better, more conscious, educated choices in the pieces that we select to wear, whether that be, creating that capsule wardrobe or picking up something secondhand and offering longevity to that garment so that it has a second life, third life. I think that's a small part that we can play. And you get to pick up incredible pieces that someone else has lived and enjoyed and is ready to hand over to someone else.
Yes. Then on the topic of fashion, we had Georgia from Emma Marie. That is a little boutique in Berwick, and she's a young entrepreneur with a keen eye for fashion. And her boutique boasts curated collection of both Australian and international brands. It was really interesting to talk to her about the journey of working in the store and then coming to the opportunity to purchase it and become the owner, and thinking about how she's going to put her own spin and ownership into the company. She also spoke about what it means to be a fashion buyer and selecting pieces, and how you're selecting these things a few months in advance. So I guess foreseeing the trends and what's going to be popular in the next season.
She said red for next winter.
Yes, red. And she said 2 pieces are not going anywhere. Sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really cool to see. I think stores like Emma Marie are really special because they kind of evoke a curation that is tailored to not only the owner, but they have very much a strong influence in the pieces that, you get exposure to that you wouldn't otherwise see from brands. So yeah, an incredible little boutique in Berwick again. And we have shopped there for around 10 years before Georgia had ownership of it, and obviously now still. So it's a beautiful little boutique, and it's really, really nice to see that. I think the trend, I guess, where I'm getting at is with our guests, as much of a vision as you can have, you never really know where an opportunity will take you. So I'm just thinking of Georgia at that young age, just working casually, never envisioning that that could one day be her own boutique. And that's just crazy and so beautiful and something to be really proud of.
Yeah, and I love the sense of community that her boutique has created. And you can even see that in her socials and how she interacts with her clients. Yeah.
Yeah, community engagement is something so important, and why repeat customers and loyalty, I guess that's the foundation of it, having that engagement with the community and coming from that ownership level is so much more special to clients to ensure that they, keep coming back, and fosters great friendships, and it just becomes all really organic business.
We'll be back
After a short break.
If you haven't already heard of Strider, they are the revolutionary insoles featured in this season's Shark Tank.
Strider is the home of happy feet. Their mission is to empower you to move at your best, pain-free. To help you take charge of your life and health from the feet up, Strider are offering Nava listeners an exclusive 10% off with code NAVA. That's Nava at checkout.
Now let's get back to the conversation. Then we had Yong Lee from Enbachi. She is the visionary mind behind the skincare brand and has redefined the way that we think about skincare.
We were fortunate enough to try out her product, and I have to say, they are absolutely beautiful. My favorite product was the cleansing balm.
Oh, that was what I was going to say, because it's my favorite too.
Young Lee said it was her dad's favorite because his skin is amazing. Like, he looks so young.
Yes,
he is young, but it's just such a beautiful formulation and texture.
Oh, it takes all my makeup off and it feels beautiful. I can't quite describe it. It's kind of like a cleansing oil, but not. It's a balm. And I love what she said. It's about touching and feeling and understanding your skin again. And that's really what it does. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I wasn't sure if this was the right description or descriptive words, but it definitely, like, you scoop out a bit of the balm. It's like a beautiful grainy blue texture. You put it on your face. It's just, the whole ritual is really luxurious. And yeah, I look forward to taking off my makeup at the end of the day with that. But once you apply it on your face, it kind of morphs into this oil, and it gets every last inch of makeup off.
Yeah.
And your skin doesn't feel dried out. It feels really supple and moisturized after I'm done.
Yeah. And I really like that they are taking strides in the area of sustainability. And she was talking about how the stem cells that they use from the grapes and apples are from a endangered variety. So they're actually sowing into these species to, I guess, reproduce and grow back their numbers. And I also really liked how she was talking about being a product of the future. You have to think about how you're going to be that now.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. And also, we spoke about a couple of other things. We spoke about endometriosis and the part that played in her journey. And it's something that's come up with a couple of our guests, but raising the awareness for endometriosis and what women are exposed to without even actually necessarily understanding what's happening to our bodies, but thinking that, for example, period pains are normal or heavy bleeding is normal at period time. It's definitely worth looking into and just educating ourselves around that and getting checked out and seeing what options there are for us. But it was really really brave of Yong Lee to explore that with us and just be so raw and honest about her journey with endometriosis, and how that kind of pushed her into starting a family at a young age. I think she was 24, and taking a career from her a break, from her newly established business, which would have been daunting at the time to know, okay, my clock is ticking. I've got to do this, but I've also just created a business and I want to be present for that. But her team allowed space for her to do that and focus on her family. And now she's got 2 beautiful children. And that was really, really wonderful to hear how it all just came full circle for her.
Yeah, and then we also got to partner with Enbachi to do our amazing giveaway. So we had one lucky guest receive a year's worth of Enbachi products. So that was really fun for us too.
And we are so jealous of that winner.
Jealous.
Enjoy it all.
And then our last guest for season 2 was Alison from Your Hypno Coach. Alison's actually my cousin. And we spoke to her about having a background as a scientific researcher for the Royal Children's Hospital and how she transitioned into starting up her own hypnotherapy business. I liked how she was talking about mind shifts, and she used the reference of a kaleidoscope and slowly turning that dial to be open to a new perspective on whatever it is that you are dealing with. And I think that we can easily become really focused or have a narrow view when we're in amongst a particular issue or trauma or mindset. And sometimes just, turning that dial a little bit can help us become a bit more open to how we can change.
Yeah, and I think I loved what Alison said about her approach to effective treatment was focusing on the now and moving forward, as opposed to continuing to revisit the past and that experience, acknowledging that it was there, but really focusing on the solution moving forward. And I think the treatments are lovely. I really look forward to having a hypnotherapy session with her. And I want my hands on this hypnotherapy birthing CD that she listened to when it's my turn, hopefully in a few years. But I think it's really beautiful to shape the way that women are able to go into labour and be in control of the decisions and choices that they make, and understand that which way it goes, having that mindset that it's okay, that as things change, we adapt, and just really enjoying and immersing yourself in the experience. And the fact that her love for hypnotherapy came from her birthing her children is really, really, really cool.
And that was season 2 on Nava podcast. So I encourage you to have a listen to these women's amazing stories and how they navigated the highs and lows and what they learnt. And, grab your coffee and come and have a chat with us. It's lots of laughs.
Have a lovely end of 2023, and we'll see you
in 2024.
Bye.
Bye. That's a wrap for this episode. If you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review.
And remember, you can always find more episodes and updates on our website and social media page. You can find us on Instagram at nava.podcast. Until next time,
keep chasing your dreams and making your mark on the world.